Hi guys, it's me. So today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite products is the Deco Arts metallic lusters. These are amazing and they come in so many beautiful colors. This is what I have so far, plus the golds, and I have a couple more too. And they're so beautiful and gorgeous. I think I have yes, I got the rose gold, but they come in so many amazing colors, and this stuff is just amazing. I'm sure that you've seen it in Facebook groups, and just people have been going crazy for this stuff. So I thought I would share with you a couple techniques that I like to use it with, a couple techniques on how I like to use it, and also just to tell you a little bit about the product too. So again, this is Deco Arts. It is their metallic luster. So it has a beautiful metallic finish, and once it dries, it is permanent, but you can use it in all sorts of different ways. So we're going to go over that. Okay. Alrighty. So what it is it's a paste. Okay. Let me open. So it's paste, so it's really creamy and soft like that. It's kind of like the what do you call that? I'm trying to think, the stuff that you rub in. I've never used it before. Oh. Hi guys, it's me. So I want to share with you this wonderful product that I've been using, that I'm totally in love with, and I'm sure that you've heard about it. People have been using it all over Facebook, and it's such a wonderful product that I love using. So it's the Deco Arts Metallic Lusters, and these are just really awesome. There's so many ways that you can use them, and I think people really don't know, the other ways that you can use them besides the traditional ways, because it's just such a versatile product. And it has a metallic finish, and it's a wax or a paste like consistency, but you can do so much more with it. So I want to share this product with you. It comes in a bunch of just gorgeous colors. I mean, these are some of my favorites. We have like the rose gold is my new favorite. I'll just name some of them. The cosmic blue, and then we have the iced espresso, which is really wonderful, and then the polish coral, which is one of their new colors. I think they came out with that this year. Yeah, it's one of the new ones. And then the majestic purple, which I love, and then they have the black shimmer, which is so pretty. So these are just so fabulous. You can use them in so many different ways, and they're super fun to use, and especially on mixed media products and in your art journal, you will be blown away by these. So super cool. So I'm going to share with you about 4 techniques. We might be able to do 5. We'll see how that goes. And I am going to show you what happens if they dry out, because this one I forgot to put the lid on, but it's such a wonderful product that if you just do the technique that I show you, then you will be able to kind of reconstitute it and turn it into that beautiful paste. Okay, so I'm just going to open one. We'll do the orange one. So what it looks like is it comes in a jar like this, and it's paste, but it's so pigmented and beautiful. Like I have the blue on my finger now, and it's so beautiful and pigment and creamy, and you get quite a bit of product. Now there are other products like this on the market, but they dry out really quick and you don't get this much product. I mean, this thing is 1 ounce, which is awesome, and it lasts you forever. So Deco Arts is very generous with us crafters, okay? So I'm just going to wipe this off, and you can see, like, I'm wiping it off. If I wet my fingers, you'll see even more, like this is a wet spot, and look at how it spreads. Okay, so let's do some experimenting. So what I have here, and this is the traditional way that people use it, is that you use modeling paste, or you'll have something that's really textured. Like maybe you were making a bottle or altering a bottle, and you added some stenciling, or you added tissue paper, and you want to like rub on some of this paste or the luster, and you want it to kind of pick up the color. So that's the traditional way that people use this, which is wonderful. So here I just use this Deco Art stencil, which I love, and it has a number, but I will link it below. And I used some of their modeling paste, the Deco Arts Media modeling paste, and I scraped it through with my palette knife, and then I allowed it to dry. So we're going to work with this one first, and you'll be able to see the texture pick up once I start playing a little bit. So let's pick the polished coral, which is one of my favorite colors. Okay, so I'm adding some right on my finger. You can do this with the sponge if you want to. I love to use my fingers. And all you do is you just rub it. Can you see? And you just want to, you know, make sure that it's applied really beautifully, evenly on your finger. As you see here, I got it a little thick, but that's okay. And make sure that your modeling paste is fully dry, okay? Or if you're doing this on like textured tissue paper or something, just make sure that everything's dry. So if I go in with a big chunk on my finger, then it seeps through on the paper. But if you just want to pick up the texture, and you can layer these too, which we'll probably do. So see, I can do this first color, just like that. Perfect. Just like that. So see how it picks up that texture and it shows it, and you can see the spots where I put it in thick. But I want you to see just how shimmery and gorgeous it is. Okay, and then if I add another color on top of that, it will really pop. Okay, and if you wanted to, you could have even applied this first and then rubbed on top of the texture, or rubbed on top of the texture with another color. I'm going to use the rose gold. I really love this one too. Okay, just pretty. Okay, and we can go right on top, and they're going to mix together beautifully. So you can mix them. So you could do gold. I'm going to do the rose gold. And I can just pick up that texture. So imagine this on a beautiful like wooden box that you altered. You could just take a beautiful stencil and pop it out with the modeling paste. So see, you can see the rose gold too. Isn't that pretty? So just gorgeous. Just a really fun, easy technique. Now, the next technique I'm going to show you is one that I love and I discovered because sometimes we ladies or creators in Denver, YouTube creators, and some of our friends aren't YouTube creators, but they are fabulous and we enjoy their company. Well, I plan for us to go to Joanna's. It had to be, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago, and we did this background basically, and I want to show you here. So you see this? It's textured. This beautiful gold piece here. And I saw this technique and I talked to the lady that did it, Tammy, and she told me how she did it. So I'm going to share that with you. But it's not just flat. It's not just stenciled on with gold paint. It's actually textured. It's pulled up. And you can do that with these wonderful lusters. Okay, so let's grab a new piece of paper and I'm going to grab another stencil. Right? And this one is called Pixelated. This is one of my favorite Deco Art stencils. We can use, let's use Majestic Purple. Actually, I haven't used this one yet, and you guys know how much I love purple. Or I lied, I did use a little for something. I forget, I create a lot. So you can actually scrape this just like you would modeling paste, and it dries really hard. And it's permanent. And I don't think lots of people know that, but it creates such a beautiful effect because you have this gorgeous metallic color and it's textured and it dries really, really hard and it's so pretty, and you don't have to go over it like you do with modeling paste, or, you know, or sometimes when I add metallic paints into my modeling paste, it's not as vibrant as this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So all you're going to do is just take your palette knife, you'll load it up just like you would with modeling paste. And I know this stuff is so precious, so this is kind of an interesting way to use it. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to use it this way because I feel like I'm wasting the product. But if you buy something, you should enjoy it. Okay, so we're just going to take our palette knife and we're going to scrape it down right over where we want the paste to go. Okay. And I'm holding my stencil really, really tight. Just like that. And you see all this gorgeous color? We're not going to let that go to waste either. Okay. So I'm just kind of scraping it a little bit. And I didn't use very much, so very cool. Awesome. I'm just trying to get a little bit so you can see down here. There we go. So you can scrape this stuff and we can pull right it up and see how it's textured. Do you see that texture? Absolutely beautiful. And it's not just, like I said, it's not just white that you have to color later on. When it dries, it has a beautiful metallic finish. So it's super fabulous, okay? And then you don't have to let this go to waste. What I like to do is, I'm gonna grab a dryer sheet here, is I can just take my water, my spray bottle, and I can activate it, okay? And then you can turn it over and stencil on it a little bit, or you can just wipe off the color onto your baby wipe. And I know you waste a little bit of product, but it's totally worth it. It's so fun. It's such a fun technique. And you have a gorgeous baby wipe that you can recycle into art, which I love to do. That has a beautiful, but you see here how it got on my mat? Can you see that? It did. That's so pretty. Okay. Ready? So that is going to dry with a beautiful metallic finish. Okay. Absolutely. So let's grab another one just because I want to show you kind of the variety of color. Okay. But you know what? While I'm here, actually, let's go ahead and you can also stencil with this stuff. Again, things that people don't know, the way that you can use this product. So you can take your makeup sponge and let's use black and make sure you screw the tops on these so they don't dry out tight. Okay. That one's still good. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm just going to apply some of the paste right onto my brush. Okay. Just like you would paint. So you're just going to dip it, load up your brush, take some of it away. Okay. And then I'm going to go in and I can apply it just like I would paint. Okay. Just like that. And you might need to use a little bit more than you would for paint. And I'm just doing a tapping motion. Okay. Alrighty. So you see? And it's so beautiful. I've used this technique before too, because again, it gives you these beautiful little circles or whatever you decide to stencil on it, but they're metallic, so they're not flat. And you see how I got a little bit of purple on there from my stencil, because that stuff is so beautiful and so pigmented that the color goes everywhere, which I love. So fun. And I usually clean off my palette knife too with it because it's so pretty. Okay, so those are two fun techniques. Okay, so again, we're going to wet our stencil here because I don't want to waste any of this gorgeous color. I'm going to go in and I'm going to just wipe it right up. Alrighty, just like that. Alrighty. And I do like to clean the paste off right away because it can get a little gunky. So I recommend, just like you do with modeling paste, that you do wipe it off. When I do paint, I really don't clean my stencils, you know, until they get really bad. But if I'm doing the paste or modeling paste, then I do. But look at that beautiful color that we already have. And it's a beautiful metallic color. Okay, so another technique that I love to use that most people may not know about, you may know about this, I'm not sure, is that you can wet these. Okay, so let's do the orange one. Okay, perfect. And I'm just going to go in with my hands and put a little bit on the lid. So you're just going to take a little paste. You can put it right on your palette or whatever you're using. I don't recommend that you do it straight out of the jar though. Okay, so what you're going to do is you'll grab a brush, whichever kind of brush you like to use. I'm going to do kind of a soft bristle brush. Okay, and then what I do is I wet it a little bit just to activate it a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush, but I'm going to dry it off. Okay, so it's mostly dry. Okay, and then I'm going to go in, and I may need to add a little bit of color, but you can wet these and it gives a beautiful kind of watercolor effect, but it's metallic. Okay, and you can get deeper. So if we add a little bit more, or a lot more, and if I just wet my brush this time, and I like to do this right in the lid or on my palette. So that's kind of watercolor where I added water kind of two ways. But look at this. If I just wet it a little bit and I just use a wet brush, look at that beautiful vibrant color. Do you see that? So pretty. So you could even do flicks. So you could do splatters of color too. So I can go in and add a little bit more water and I can splatter. And they're not just regular paint splatters, they are metallic splatters, which is awesome. So I love this stuff, as you can see. So much fun. Okay, let me grab a baby wipe. And I like to save my baby wipes, you know, that don't have a lot of color on them, and I can experiment a little bit. Okay, we can just go and wipe that up. Alrighty. Okay, go ahead and clean off my brush here. Okay, so you can use this on an art journal page, and look at that beautiful metallic color. Can you see that? Wow, and you can do watercolors and you can do splatter. So it's so much fun to use. And you can use like a double technique. So like for this, I could have painted the background, maybe the gold rose, and then added the polished coral, and then added the rose gold on top. So you can play with it. So those are the 4 techniques that I want to show you. So hopefully you learned something. Now I'm going to show you what happens sometimes if you're like me and you don't screw these on. Sometimes I forget. I'm so bad about that. Sometimes like my deco page I'll even leave unscrewed and then it's a pain. Like, Shami, you have to remember to close products. So I'm going to make sure these are nice and closed and sealed. But let's say that you leave it open, it's not working. What you can do is, this is one that I have, and it does take a little bit of time, is this is all cakey because I didn't close it properly. So it's all cakey, but you don't have to throw it away. First of all, you can just use it like I did. You can just wet it down or use a wet brush and take it and you can brush it on and use it on your art journal pages. But if you want it reconstituted, all you have to do is take a spray bottle with water, and you're going to add quite a bit of water, okay? And you do have to let it sit a little bit too, okay? Okay, and you're going to kind of fill it up. And then I like to take a popsicle stick, which I always have in my little jar too. And once this has had time to sit, you can just mix it up. Okay, so I can kind of break it apart because it's really hard, but you can break it apart and it's beginning to get constituted. But just put the lid on. So put your lid on for a little while and then you can mix it together. And I will show you that technique. So this one I'm just going to twist on. I'm going to give it a couple hours and then I'll come back and we can blend it with our popsicle stick. And it will be almost like new, okay? But yeah, so I'll be right back after I constitute this baby. So I'm just going to leave the lid on and I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours and we'll come back. Okay guys, so I want to show you, I just opened this up and all you do is kind of smash it together and you see that it's reconstituted. I have some big chunks here. But what I can do is I can just break them down right with my popsicle stick and just kind of mix everything together. I might have to give this another spray, but you see that I'm getting back that beautiful paste consistency, right? Before it was big old flakes, right? So I'm just going to go through and I can just break it apart. And I can spray a little more water if I need to. But you see that it already has a different consistency. So you can definitely do that with these and then screw on the top and make sure that you know, take care of it next time. Or I'm telling myself that, not you guys, of course, because I'm sure that you don't do things like leave the jars off of your product. So, but I just love it because it can be rescued and you can use it. I mean, even if you didn't want to reconstitute it, you could, like I said, you could just wet it and use it as a paint and it would work great too. So yeah, but it's pretty much almost reconstitutes. I mean, I have a few little spots that need to be broken down, so I'll probably spray it with water again, but works really well. You have a little bit of products on your popsicle stick, but there's still so much product in here, and I want to show you just that it works now. Just like my other ones, right? So I can take it and I can rub it, just like I do the other ones that I showed you, right? And it works just fine. I can do everything like I did the other kind. So super fun, beautiful product. I love it so much. I love using it. I love just the consistency, and it's just so fun to use, and you can find so many fun projects to use it with. And it's great with when you want to capture texture, or you have something that's three-dimensional, then you can, you know, add this. Just rub it on, and it's really awesome and fabulous. And I love it. So we're going to go ahead and just rub it off. I could play with this stuff all day. You guys can totally tell that, right? Little crazy with the Deco Arts metallic lusters, but it's so fun. Okay, and I can just put the lid on, and the next time I open it up, it will not have those little cakey kind of things to it. It will be like the paste consistency too. Okay, and it still works just like it did before. Okay, so really fun, super fun technique. I hope you guys try it out. Okay, I hope you buy some of this wonderful metallic luster. I will have links below to Amazon, so you can purchase it. And if you use my link, then I get a small percentage of it. So I would appreciate it if you did that, just because it helps to support my channel. So I would appreciate it if you did that. But they come in so many beautiful colors. I don't have all the colors. I have a lot of them, but I don't have every one of them. Like, I don't think I have the red and a couple other ones, but they're so fun to use, and I really hope that you add this to your stock. And I mean, this product lasts for a really long time, you know, like the Inca Golds I know, and there's a couple more different kinds. Like, the jars are so little and they're so expensive, and this is a great value, you know, for the price. So you can use it for years to come. And you see that I'm adding water, and that extends it. But once they dry, they're completely permanent. Let me show you here. So this is the one that I stenciled. It will not move. Like, if I add a little bit of water, as long as it's dry, it's completely permanent. Oops. You can see, like, I have gold on my fingers, but you see that it didn't smudge or move, right? So if I go here and I just really, like, manipulate it, it's not going to move. Okay? And same thing here. These are completely permanent. They're not going to come off. Okay? And those are the ones that we stenciled, because you can stencil with this too. Again, fully sealed. I don't see any. I'll use this finger. There's nothing coming off on my fingers, okay? Except for, you know, the gold that I was using, but you don't see any pink. There's no pink, so it's really good. This same thing, and you can use it on glass. Like, if you add modeling paste to a glass, you can use it wet, and then you can also rub it on to catch the texture too. So you can use it in so many different ways, and the colors are so rich and beautiful. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I hope you give this metallic luster a try. It's fabulous, and I will put links below if you would like to purchase it on Amazon, and you will be helping out my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you know a friend that would like to know about this product, I really hope you share this video with them. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.